Hi, this is Mannat Jagia. Welcome to Capsule Literature Series Lecture 13. So the first question for today is, in this session we'll also be discussing some more questions, more important questions. The first question for today is, to whom is Sons and Lovers dedicated? So remember, first let me talk about this novel Sons and Lovers, and then we'll talk about whom is it dedicated to. So the author of the novel Sons and Lovers is D.H. Lawrence. Sons and Lovers was published in the year 1939, and D.H. Lawrence dedicated his novel Sons and Lovers to his friend, who was also an editor, Edward Garnett. Remember. Also, I am not talking about the options because options many a times confuse us. I'll be directly giving you direct answer and giving you the options only when it is much required to weigh the options. So the first question is, to whom is Sons and Lovers dedicated? And it is dedicated by D.H. Lawrence to his friend and editor Edward Garnett. Now remember, Sons and Lovers novel is about the Morrell family. Morrell, Morrell family. And who are the members of the Morrell family? Gertrude Morrell, that is Mrs. Morrell, the mother. She has a husband, Walter Morrell, who's a drunkard and alcoholic. And Gertrude and Walter have two sons, William and Paul. And the entire novel is based on Paul Morrell. Mostly it is based on Paul Morrell, the second son of Gertrude Morrell. William is the first son of Gertrude Morrell. The main theme of Sons and Lovers is family. There are also themes like Oedipus complex, and this novel also deals with psychology. So this is a bit of information that you need to remember about Sons and Lovers. Make sure that you are writing these details down. Very important questions, very important works that I am discussing in these capsule literature series. You will find some of the questions directly asked from these capsule literature. The extra information that I am providing you is of much help. The next question for today is, who of these is not an objectionable character in Greatexpectations? So the next question is from Greatexpectations. Who of these is not an objectionable? Objectionable means bad, not so good. So who of these is not an objectionable? That means they are asking who is the good character in Greatexpectations. And the options given are A. Bentley Drummle. Bentley Drummle is a bad character. Obviously, if you know Greatexpectations, then you know. Greatexpectations is a novel by Charles Dickens, published in the year 1861. This was the 13th novel. Greatexpectations was the 13th novel and the penultimate completed novel of Charles Dickens. So let's come to the options. We are on who is the good character in Greatexpectations. The question is asking not an objectionable character. That means the question is asking us who is the good character in Greatexpectations. The first option is A is Bentley Drummle, who is a bad character. B is Dolge Orlick. This is also a bad character, the villain of the novel. C is Joy Gargery. This is a good man. Joy Gargery, the brother-in-law, is a good man. So this is the correct option. C, Joy Gargery is not an objectionable character in Greatexpectations. D option is Arthur Compeyson. Arthur Compeyson was also a bad character. So the answer will be Joy Gargery. Now see, Greatexpectations is a wonderful novel, and it is based... The entire novel is based on the education of an orphan who is nicknamed as Pip, P-I-P, Pip. The entire novel is written in first-person narration. Remember, even David Copperfield is written in first-person narration. And this novel, Greatexpectations, was serially published in the periodical All the Year Round. Now let me also tell you about this periodical All the Year Round. Very important. All the Year Round was a Victorian periodical, and it was founded and owned by Charles Dickens himself. And this periodical was published between the years 1859 to 1895 throughout United Kingdom. Please remember the dates. All the Year Round periodical by Charles Dickens, founded and owned by Charles Dickens, published between 1859 and reverse 59 reverse 95. So between 1859 to 1895 throughout UK, and Greatexpectations was published serially in this periodical first before it came in the book form. I suppose I've given you all the information about Greatexpectations, the most important things that you need to remember. Next question. Which of the following is the background of Middlemarch? Which of the following is the background of Middlemarch? I won't read the other options because it will just confuse. Just remember that Middlemarch was written in the background of the 1832 Reform Act. There will be a few movements and acts that will be given to you. Remember Middlemarch, which is a novel by whom? By Georgeeliot. This is the pen name. Who is the real one behind? Mary Ann Evans wrote under the pen name of Georgeeliot. So Middlemarch, published 1871 by Georgeeliot, has the background of 1832 Reform Act. You should know what 1832 Reform Act is. 1832 Reform Act was Electoral Act for elections. Remember, it was an act of United Kingdom that introduced major changes to the electoral system of England and Wales. Please remember. And this novel is based on the 1832 Reform Act. Also remember Middlemarch. The full title of this novel is Middlemarch, A Study of Provincial Life. And Middlemarch is a place, a fictional English Midland town. Remember this. Middlemarch is a place and the novel is set in Middlemarch, a fictional English Midland town. So I suppose I have discussed a few questions with you. The major motive of having these short capsule lectures is that I have to give you the maximum boost of information in a very limited period of time, because many people do not have time enough and do not like to hear long and boring lectures. So my major aim will be to keep these lectures very short, and in very short time I would give you a boost of knowledge. So today's capsule lecture, I've discussed Sons and Lovers. I've also discussed Greatexpectations, also the periodical all the year round. We also discussed about Georgeeliot's Middlemarch and also about the 1832 Reform Act. So that's all about this capsule literature series. If you are interested in listening to the entire long lectures on British literature, American, Indian, we have all the courses. The lectures, those are there in the classrooms, are not much long. They are just 15, 20, 25 minutes. But in those lectures, you will get full amount of information that you need to require to write UGC NET and SET exams. That's all for this session. Thank you.